go. You're listening to Nothing But the Bass. Yeah, let's get this thing going, right? Yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Yeah, alright. Don't forget to hit that like button. Join in. Share this content. Share this information. Alright, let's go. Right, let's roll, baby. Can't stop a tank with no key, right? Alright. Thank everybody for tuning in to the nation, man. It's always a pleasure. It's always a plus for you guys for tuning in to the network. Here's the thing. My guy, my brother from another mother, Jobu, where you can find him. It will be in the description box. That is Cowboy Joe Boo. That's JOBU.com. That's where my guy Mark Holmes will be located at. He will still be delivering you guys the content. We all know collectively we have to work together in order for this thing to grow. We have some bigger parties that's above us that we have to fight, and that's what this life is all about. You have to roll your sleeves up and fight and continue to do the things that you love, because there's always somebody out there. There's somebody who have the magnifying glass to the ant. We are the little people, and there's still channels, and I'm not trying to sully or denigrate this person's channel, but there's still channels like EDP or EPP, however you say this man's name, channel, who are out there who just spit nothing but falsehoods and crazy stuff, and his channel still afloat. But then you have the Dallas Cowboys, a guy that rolls up his sleeves and put out their content for as the ESPNs, the four-letter network, that can't even provide the information that they do, because they are looking at his content saying, wow, how can he come out with all this information? And we look at networks like the NFL network. We look at networks like the Fox News and CBS and all these other networks out here. And pretty much from here, we got a guy named Cowboy Joe Boo. Free Cowboy Joe Boo. Go out there and free him, because go to this website and you will see the amount of work that this guy does, and the amount of content that he pushes out to the massive is everything. So if you guys are still in need of Cowboys content, Cowboys information, like I said, he got a fantastic network. This is my guy, my brother from another mother. Don't look like Danny Glover. Mark Holmes. Go to his page. Help the man out, because we all know what the YouTube did. And I'm not trying to talk down on YouTube, but they should take account for this guy had 26,000 subscribers. And all of a sudden they said this guy violated YouTube policy, YouTube community, far as guidelines and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is go to his site, Cowboy Joe Boo. That's COWBOY Joe Boo, where you guys can get some raw, I'm talking about some good information about the Cowboys. And the guy have an extreme amount of network. He worked with Sean Lee. He worked with Charles Haley. Everybody remember Charles Haley, right? They went to the same school. He even worked with my guy Everson Walls. He got content out there that he worked with actual NFL players. So for the YouTube community to sully and denigrate and just cancel this man's channel is just beyond belief. But we still can have to be the voice for the voiceless. And you guys can go to his website. I'm telling you, you get some good information out there. All right, so I'm gonna give a shout out to the first person that's in the chat box over here on the YouTube side, Mr. Bruce Wayne. Shout out to you. First place, man. I'm thinking about giving out during the season rewards for those who are like first place like 3 consecutive times in a row. Yeah, it would be cash value. That's the best thing that I can do at this point. But that's going to be down the line. So I really appreciate, because when you guys jump into the chat box, they let me know that you're part of the notification squad. You're part of the notification gang, however you want to call it. And then also on top of that, that you're listening to what I'm having to say. And it can be troublesome, right? Raymond, you second place. Close but no cigar. And Mr. Bruce Wayne, the first. Yeah, you were first, and now you are also in third. So first and third place. Shout out to you. Buddy Johnson, shout out to you too as well. Adrian Williams, what's going on? Joseph McCrae. Let me jump over to the Elite Facebook panel. I really appreciate you guys there. Joshua Skinner. If you're on Facebook, just jump to my Law Nations Facebook live page. It's up top over into the right-hand corner. You guys can join there, and that's where I can read your wonderful comments and things like that. Mike James, shout out to you. Yeah, we are live like 95. And hey, we're going to get over to the Cowboys news. This is the thing. I went back all last night and I looked at tons of information as far as what the Cowboys are up against, as far as the preseason game. This is coming tomorrow at 8 o'clock. This is the thing that we really need to focus on right here. Let me pull up this deal right here. Let me see if I can pull up this right here. There you go. All right, so we got everybody that's in the chat box live over here. Let me see if I can pull you around here. I thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the account, subscribe to this page. I have a Law Nations podcast. It's LAW Nation podcast, and that way you can, you can really see what all we've been working on for. Let me move this over right here. Now I can see you guys' name. Mike Marto, shout out to you. Raymond, shout out to you too as well. Junior, not the first. Yeah, appreciate you for tuning in too as well. I have all your information now up here live like 95, right? Let me just do one other thing. I really appreciate you guys for bearing with me. It's just a one-man show. The Periscope. I'm live on Periscope, so shout out to you, Jordan. I still can't believe they're not going to give his channel back to the clarity of false claims. Yeah, Jordan, a lot of times when you're talking about sports content and you're talking about platforms, a lot of times these bigger corporations do not want to fall on the sword. They do not want to say, hey, I admit that I'm wrong. So you get these type of things out there. And the problem is, and I'm not trying to talk down on EDP or EPP's page, but the substance, there's none out there. This guy brought substance. He brought ingredients to the fan. Now, I do know that he have 26,000 fans versus a EDP probably have over 120,000 fans or over 120,000 subscribers. So what YouTube is letting everybody know that if you have 10,000, your voice is not being heard. If you have 3,000, your voice is not being heard. If you have 30,000 fans, your voice is not being heard. You got to have at least 100,000 subscribers for your voice to be heard. And people fail to realize that you can have really collectively 2,000 subscribers, and with 2,000 subscribers, they can support you to the wholeheartedly, and really put out there to say, hey, we are here for you come hell and high waters, and we will support your channel. But the YouTube, the bigger picture of the channel, they'll look at 2,000 and say, well, those are people are nothing. They mean nothing to us. You got to have 100,000. And even when you get to 100,000 subscribers, that's when they open up a whole lot of things for you. That's when you get the ability to do content ID. You get the ability to appeal certain stuff and things like that. So by us being so far down on the totem pole, we really don't get no shot at this thing called fair justice as far as content and things like that. Actually, I can go live and have a film session, fair use credit. That's why I like the Facebooks of the world. That's why I like the Twitch. And that's why I like the other platforms, because you are allowed to then to utilize the fair use policy. Fair use policy meaning that if there's an NFL clip and I'm going over and I'm doing the evaluation, I'm talking down, breaking down film, that still Facebook will allow you to post that content. But versus a YouTube world, they would say, okay, this is a content ID. This is a content flag. We're going to pull this clip. We're going to give you a strike or what have you. And you're sitting there saying, no, I'm going over this film. This is me breaking down this information. Fair use supposed to be able to break this information out as far as criticism, content, and spread this out to the masses. But the YouTube world doesn't look at it that way. They look at it for the simple fact that you only have 30,000 or you only have 10,000 or you only have 5,000 subscribers. That means you are nothing to us. You are what we call what's on the bottom of our foot. You know what I mean? So it's just how it is. But this is free enterprise, right? This world, this economy. And as a econ major, graduate of Jackson State University, I can say this right here, that we always have a possibility, right? We have the mind thought to create our own platform, to go out there and create a Cowboy Joe Boo website where you can put just about anything you want out there. We have the ability now to go out there and create a Patreon account, a sub account, and have those people that's loyal, those people that follow the channel, to go to those platforms, to help those platforms out by subscribing and donating and things like that. So we shouldn't really put all our eggs in one basket anyway. So it just goes to show you guys that those who are out there, if you have a mindset, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things, tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out and sweat for it, fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or fame, or sickness, or body, or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and besetted with the help of Almighty, you will get it. That meaning going out there, rolling up your sleeve, and getting the thing that you want. Now, how this relates to the Cowboys content, this is how it relates to Cowboys content. What we have to do as Cowboys Nation, those out there that's out there fighting, because if you look at this offensive line, we have tons of people that's out right now. I won't switch it over to Cowboys content. We have tons of people out right now. But what the Cowboys Nation need to do, I look back at the game yesterday, the Washington Redskins versus I forgot who they played, but this is what they looked like. They were scared to tackle. I love this, and I know it's preseason. They were scared to tackle. Now, although Adrian Peterson looked like the man that he does when he's running behind an offensive line, who the Washington Redskins got a great and fantastic and wonderful offensive line coach. It looks like Adrian Peterson looked like the Adrian Peterson of old. But on the defensive side, beyond the first, since they're 3-4, beyond a 3-4, the guys that's on the front four, they're stout. They ready. But they linebacker core and their secondary, they do not want to have no form of contact. And I like that aspect, because I can only imagine the way Ezekiel Elliott runs this ball. And keep in mind, too, as well, it's been over 4 years since the last time the Redskins done beat the Cowboys. So, with that being said, man, my God almighty, this team, the Washington Redskins, they better be worried about this running attack that we will deliver. And I'm telling you, Ezekiel Elliott will run the rock. The way that the Cowboys roster is, number 45, and whoever is going to be the third string running back. I know Jameis Olawale is out there, and he's no guy that's going to lay down too as well. These guys are going to run this ball, run the rock right up through the Washington Redskins. This is the thing. I do like Fabian Monroe for the Washington Redskins. He's playing. He's tracking out to the ball. He's one of the guys that I had really high remarks for coming out of the draft. I think that he elevated a little bit too as well. Put down in the chat box who they were playing against, the Washington Redskins yesterday, because it slipped my mind. I forgot the name of the team. But I can move forward over to the New York Giants. The New York Giants backup quarterback, Davis, I think his name is Webb. I think that's his last name. His name is Webb, number 5. This guy, I laughed at some New York Giants fans saying that Webb is a good passer of the ball. He throws with anticipations. They played against the Broncos. Right. Appreciate it, Jordan Nelson, man. Appreciate you, man. My mind is everywhere. Don't forget, guys, follow Jobu's page, Cowboy Joe Boo. He got a lot of content out there. All right, so just had to get that plug out there again. This is the thing. When I saw Webb throw the ball, methodically move the ball, shout out to you, Jordan Nelson, for again. Shout out to you too as well, Jay. Hey, this is the thing. When he was throwing that rock, he threw in anticipation. He put the ball on the spot. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, the Giants got a formidable team. They're running attack. Although they rested number 26, who was Saquon Barkley, they had this other guy, Gallman. He looked formidable too as well. I think that the Giants itself is a new they got a new regime as far as his passing attack. They got a backup quarterback. We do know that Eli Manning never gets injured and all this stuff. He gets out to play. But I'm thinking about this right here with the Giants. The thing that we need to worry about, their defense still looks stout. I can say that. Their defense still looks stout. They still have problems with their linebacking core. which we can exploit. And hopefully, so when you're talking about linebackers, the linebacker core versus our tight end, our young tight end, because that's who the matchups are going to be on, I think that we have a chance. But this is the thing. Now that they're with the mindset of getting the ball out of Eli Manning's hand and running the ball more, we seen the old copycat pages of what the Saints did last year and what the Cowboys been doing in 2014 and 2016 too. Running the ball, getting the ball out of the hands of the quarterback and putting all of the onus on the running attack. They may be something to deal with. Just to be honest with you all. And I know it's preseason, but this is the dress rehearsal. You can take a lot of things from those first 2 quarters. You can take a lot. There's a lot of ingredients out of that. And you can see those things. Who to watch for today? Looney. I thought the game is Sunday, right? It's not today, right? The game is Sunday. Let me know, because my days are all off. Can he call it Jobu's channel instead of Mark Holmes' channel and just a guest of Jobu show? This is Cowboys fan 1988, California. The thing is, what Mark Holmes have to do is create a brand new, because I have multiple YouTube channels. He will have to create, that's a good question, in order for Mark Holmes to get back on YouTube, he will have to create a brand new Gmail account. And then from that brand new Gmail account, to create a quote unquote a new channel from there. He can name the channel for whatever he wants, because you see, if you go to YouTube, there's multiple channels out there with the same name, so they will not block your username. So what they're blocking is the actual Gmail account. So somebody reach out to Mark Holmes on that fashion and tell him to create a brand new Gmail account and start up a brand new YouTube account. And if those 26,000, if those who loyal followers and listeners of the Cowboys Sports Report or Cowboys Joe Boo Sports Report will follow his channel from there, then that will be a plus, because that's what I had to do with the Law Nations 2.0 page. In order for me to go live, I had to create a brand new Gmail account. And it sucks, guys. It does, because you put in all this work, and just like when you build a castle, right? You use big bricks and things like that. But what this particular platform have to, when you creating a YouTube page, it's like building that same castle, but you're using grains of sand. And each pebble, you got to build upon that pebble to just build one siding of that castle. And it takes you years to get there, and it does. And we don't have the power of a Paul Logan or whoever that guy's name is, who was able to show a dead body on YouTube, and they take his page down, and then all of a sudden he makes an apology, and they have over millions and millions of views. And then YouTube say, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and we'll just have you we'll just allow you to create this page again, or we'll unrelease the suspensions and things like that, because he had millions of followers. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I said before, we are the smaller end. And the YouTube or the NFL or all these bigger platforms have the magnifying glass. And at any time, they can put that magnifying glass on us, and we gone just like that. So the game is Sunday. I appreciate you. Italian Cowboys hate the 2.0. Yeah, I know, but that's the only way I can go live, man. Chris Shaw, man, what's good, man? But if he gets his channel back up, can he keep the news as the backup? Yeah, you always should have a backup ideology and plan. ESPN has something to do with it. This is from Tell Me T-R-E-V. Tell Me Trez. I think that's how you say your name. Maybe so. Maybe so. I think that's why people are going to Twitch. Guys, I know I'm on multiple platforms, and those who are on my Facebook page. If you have the ability to join me on Twitch is a wonderful platform. Twitch is designed and operated for the new millennium, especially for those who like to play gaming services. Twitch does allow live entertainment too as well. I'm on Twitch right now, right now as we speak. And Twitch, I'm telling you, that is the wave of the future. I think that with the emergence of them joining with Amazon, and Amazon is a fantastic platform. Amazon have the belief and the understanding of what it takes for somebody to come from a small ground up, right, and to where they at now. And they always thinking outside of the box. The guy's a billionaire who thought about selling books online. And you think about that, the guy is an innovative thinker. Right now, I can order me some food and things like that from Amazon, and it can be at my doorstep. And then I have the ability to actually see the package being delivered because I have the camera and all that jazz right at my doorstep. All that is brought to you by Amazon. And that's something amazing as you're talking about marketing. Why not jump on that wave as it is right now? So those who out there who are on multiple platforms, make sure to add Amazon to that platform. Yes. So with that being said, Amazon is real good, which is part of Twitch. So Twitch and Amazon are part of the same thing. I just got disconnected. This is from Kidge. Yeah. Periscope have a life expectancy, so it is what it is. So if you are on the Periscope, just jump back over to the Twitch or jump back to my YouTube page or jump back to my Facebook page. Law should players. Law should play as James Harden as NBA 2K on the mixer. Oh man, come on, man. James Harden, you know what I mean? Shout out to James Harden. We want to see what they're gonna do this year, you know what I mean? Steve, he does look like James Harden. James Harden looked like me. I'm 8 years older than James Harden, so James Harden looked like me. Thank you guys for tuning in to the nation. Let's talk about this right here, the expectations of this preseason, although they're going to bench Dak Prescott, although they're going to bench Ezekiel Elliott. But this is what I believe deep down in my heart, wholeheartedly. I think that the rapport, the reps that Joe Looney is going to get needs to be with Dak Prescott. And here's why. You want to be ahead of the game. You don't want to be fighting towards the game and learning during the process of the game, because we do know that practice is so vanilla. Why not put the best against the best during practice, during that time frame when you're talking about Joe Looney hiking the ball off or snapping the ball over to Dak Prescott? Would it be valuable for to have those reps live against a formidable defensive front four? Now, I do know that scared money makes no money. I do know that we can be in a situation where we're scared of injuries, but injuries are a part of the game. The war of attrition is a part of the game. What I'd like to ask everyone, if during the week 3, you have your offensive lineman to go down, will you forfeit during that time? No, you would not forfeit. You still have to lace them up and be ready to fight. So this is the thing. Dak Prescott and the rapport with those receivers speaks everything, because we do understand with a small degree that running backs, they can pick up the game just like this. Just like we looked at the game the other day from the Washington Redskins. AP or Adrian Peterson, all day, AD, however you want to call this man's name, he was able to pick up that offense just like that. That's because when you're playing running back, when you're running the game or you're running the ball, all you have to do is hit the hole, hit the seams. You're blocking schematics and schemes that you can pick up within a week or so, especially when you're seasoned running back. If you've been doing it for a while, you can be able to pick those things up. But when you're talking about quarterback, center to quarterback exchange, that can be what, 1 or 2 losses if you fumble the snap wrong, if you don't have the if you not in the same path of information as far as picking up your blitz, picking up your hot reads, and those things, hurry up camps and snaps like that. Those things are valuable. Those things are valuable. I do know that people who plays on quote unquote Madden, you really look at the offensive line like, I really don't need one of those guys. I need the skill set players like the wide receivers, the running back in order to win. But this is not Madden. This is football. As they say, when I use this clip right here, when I say, "This is Sparta!" This is what this is. This is war. You got to be ready. You just can't be sitting back and saying to yourself, okay, I can just do this at the whims. No, this is Sparta. This just is like something that you really have to be ready for. And if not, then you can figure out, you can find yourself losing 1 or 2 games for being not prepared. You got to be able to be prepared. All right. Zach Martin's not playing this preseason. Yeah, I know. And that can be week 2 as well, So there's somehow, some way this team have to figure out a way to pick this thing up. 40 people watching. Whoa, Law, you suck. This is from Mo Better TV. Hey, 40 people watching. It is what it is, Mo Better. It is what it is. But I'm on multiple platforms. So you take those 40 people. I'm on Twitch. I'm also on Periscope. I'm also on Facebook Live on multiple channels too as well. So the ideology of sucking belongs to you, my friend. All right, so with Travis Frederick out, no way they risk Martin. Yeah, I can understand with that information there. Dallas Lee, I'd rather make sure I get the best players on the field week. One in this preseason, caution Carolina. Yeah, Dub week 1, I think ran away from me. I can't read that fast, Chris Shaw, look at that. He's saying that 0 people watching him. There's never. This is the thing, Chris Shaw, and I respect you for helping me out, fighting for me. But there's never been a statue erected for a critic. So, I mean, I need those critics out there to get out there and hit that, watch button. And he's adding and contributing to watching this channel. So that's what it is. But, it is what it is for. But I always go with this. Someone's opinion of you don't have to become my reality. And I do know a lot of people would he say, glad Mark Holmes is done, dude. He's addicted to YouTube and spamming, deserve to lose his channel. Hope you're next, Law Nation. Hey, those who can hope and those who can dream and aspire to be something, but you got to get out there and work, and that's the problem. Mo Better TV, you're not out there working. You're not out there grinding. All right, so DM Boys 27, stop being a troll. Yeah. See, now people are fighting for me. But let's move on towards what we need to have to happen with this offensive line. I think that the rapport and the continuity will fall in line with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott have to be the one to get this rapport, even with the backups, because this can happen throughout the course of the year. And then it sprinkles out. The wide receiver play, we need to see something from Tavon Austin. We need to see a little bit more from the other guys. We see Michael Gallup out there in practice catching everything that's thrown his way, but we still need to see a little bit more from him, even though he's been shining against guys that have been playing against him. This is the thing. We saw a couple years back where sometimes during the offseason we see that this guy, what was the guy named Andy Jones? He was lighting up the offseason, just lighting it up. And then when they got down to the real deal, Holyfield, when the gloves came off and when everybody was out there really ready to fight during the real regular season, the guy disappeared like a Houdini trick. And that's not the ideal of this Cowboys roster. That's not the ideal of this Cowboys team. So we have to figure out, can Michael Gallup do this against players that he never played defense against, or never played against the opposition that he never played against. So that's why I'm still leaning towards, okay, I need to see a little bit more. I'm never satisfied with the skill set and the play of the Cowboys practice guys during practice. So we really want to see this thing, how this thing can roll over through the regular season. And hopefully we can see a little bit more from Michael Gallup, even though he's been catching everything that has been thrown his way during the practice and during preseason. We still really want to see a little bit more out of him. And I personally have yet to see a lot out of number 17. That's as Allen Hurns. I'm still with the same belief, just like we have with Michael Gallup. I'm still having the same notion with Allen Hurns. We still have to see more, and more equals more. Karen, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in to the nation too as well. Let me jump over and give shout out to the Facebook panel, the elite over here. Guys, where you guys can follow my guy Mark Holmes is cowboyjobu.com. Don't forget about that site. Earl X Saunders, shout out to you, man. Thank you for tuning in too as well. We also have Scott in the mix. Thank you for tuning in as well. Appreciate you guys, man. It's always pleasure. It's always love for you guys tuning in. Even Kelvin Melton, man. Shout out to you, man. He says, YouTube free Joe Boo. Kelvin, man, I appreciate you for tuning in. Terrell Scott. And for those who don't know who Kelvin Melton is, man, he's always a hard critic, but I believe he comes from a source of love. He still loves the Cowboys team. He still have a passion about the Cowboys roster. He just sees things what he see it. And not everybody look at the same canvas or the same picture. At one point, people thought Picasso wasn't great, right? They said, what is this guy just throwing paint against something and making it stick? No, but he continued to believe in and fight for what he believed in, and he can, and like one of the greatest painters and artists of all time, right? But you have to start somewhere. And the platforms that I'm on right now, the Phantom, shout out to Phantom, also EBSN Online. If you guys are on Facebook, follow EBSN Online. Follow the Silver and Blue Nation. Also, Big Game James. You can't say game without putting Big Game James on the mix. Follow his page, The Dallas Prospect. Every legend was once a prospect. We live there too as well. So guys, sports news, sports information, just follow the Law Nations podcast. Follow me too as well on Law Nations page, and also Law Nations 2.0 page, where we are going live here and there and pretty much almost every day. Yes, Chris Shaw, thank you for joining in. Rick Frederick, are you concerned that Looney as a center has an average of 10 points a game? This is the thing. Good question, Rick. This is the thing with Looney playing the center position. I have no worries at all about when he's in that lineup against the run. I think that Jumbo Looney, he's so big and so massive in that center range that he can he got strength. He can push that line back. And the way that Ezekiel Elliott runs that rock and tote that rock upfield, I think that he's okay in that aspect. But my only reservation with Looney is against pass protection. Sometimes he gives up his space, too much space with his feet. He don't swing his hips right, and then the opposition can get around him. So against the pass, that's what I'm worried about. Against the run, he's a mauler. He's not a finesse guy. And by him being a mauler, just think about this. I put Looney in the class of maybe like a Ron Leary. Looney is a weaker Ron Leary that can play center basically. If you look at his scouting report, you will see that. And the thing is with Looney against the pass, that's the only thing that I have in my reservation on. That's why I'm saying to myself, okay, this preseason, I'm really going to be looking at the center of that offensive line, and I'm going to see whether or not he's going to overhike the ball or underhike the ball or have those little small hiccups. That's what I'm worried about. That's my only reservation on Looney. Josh, what he said, Looney, I feared that he would hurt Connor Williams. Connor is a great feat, but his strength needs work. Connor's finesse at this point. He's a strong guy, and he's strong in college. He playing against college people. But now that you're on his next level, he's more finesse. So hopefully he's trying to gain that weight. And once he get that core under together and he get those strengths, which may take next year, actually. If you look at, believe it or not, if you look at my guy number 77 first year, they played him at right tackle, and they swinged him around too, and he was a swing tackle too as well his first year. Tyron Smith, and he gave up a few sacks too. So his freshman year or his rookie year out there, he wasn't like the Tyron Smith that we know of today. But then they rotated and moved him to left tackle, and he's been everything we needed and hoped for ever since then. But it's going to take that time. And one thing that I can say with Cowboys Nation, we rarely give our players time to develop. We ready to say the man is trash. Now, one thing I can say before I go further, as far as time to develop, I will say Chaz Green. Come on, oh my God, I know some folding chairs in Natchez, Mississippi that can block better than Chaz Green. So hopefully, somehow, some way, we can figure out that piece of the puzzle. But outside of that, man, this offensive line is what we really need to focus on this preseason game coming tomorrow at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, or 8 o'clock, one of those times. We need to focus on that offensive line. And then also with the defense, I must touch on defense before I run. I'm trying to give you guys at least 45 minutes of my time. This defense, the linebacking core, I'm not worried about that. The only thing that I'm really hesitant about, I'm not even worried about our CB play or cornerback play. I'm not worried about that. I think that those guys are still learning a new system, a new technique basically, and I think that they're okay. But the secondary, oh my goodness. the depth portion of it. I understand what Jeff Heath would bring. I understand what Kayvon can do, but I'm still having I'm going to be looking out for number 23 and number 37. Those Cam Kelly and Tyree Robinson. But we still going to probably need some veteran help out there. There's going to be 1,184 guys released. There's going to be out there in the market after these preseason games. One can say this: if these guys don't show up tomorrow, if they're not showing us something as far as the ability to play special teams and as well as to make an impact out there, then when the NFL release when those cuts come through, that's 1,184 players that's going to be free out there on the market. At that point, there should be a veteran guy out there that we can squeeze and put on this team to help this team grow. Now, we do know that, I don't know if Vicario would have to sign or Eric Reed. I understand the political aspect of that, of us not taking a look at those guys. But there should be somebody out there that we can reach out to like AT&T and touch and see whether or not we can get this guy on our team to be formidable. If not, then if they roll with these younger guys, expect this right here. And I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. Expect this, that there will be growing pains. There will be a situation in a time that we're going to say to ourselves, OMG, that guy left this wide receiver wide open. And the problem that we will see is that against the Giants, against the Eagles, because I went back and watched the Eagles game play against the Browns. Although they was like the score was like 0-5, the Eagles still have that same philosophy, that same format of throwing those little short, shallow passes and then killing you up the field middle with those vertical seam routes with the tight end. And that's where your safety comes into play. Your safety is going to have to understand to be played straight disciplined football against the filthy, because if not, they would dink and dunk and then they would hit you with the haymaker with their tight end plays up the seam route. That Dallas Goedert and that other guy, I forgot his name, but you guys know who he is, the Eagles, I forgot this guy's name, but they will kill you through those vertical seam routes, and they have multiple attacks with their running game. They do not care. They will rotate their running backs with 3 running backs set up, 2 running backs set up. They will rotate those running backs behind the backfield, and they will show you ways to embarrass you as far as the weaknesses of your defense. That's what the Eagles do. Shout out to Allen. Thank you for joining in. Dallas Lee. May Seattle will cut Earl Thomas when cutting time come. Maybe a long shot. I think Seattle is playing the game with the Cowboys. I do know that they have. Look at it. Seattle look at it like this. Regardless, they're going to try to get at least a 3rd round compensatory pick. But why not shoot for the moon? And if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. That's the Seattle Seahawks philosophy. Meaning that why give the Cowboys what they want? Because although they did not express the ideology that they need an Earl Thomas, they know that the Cowboys want an Earl Thomas. And with that being said, they plan everything. They plan their cards tight to their vest. Although Earl Thomas is not showing up to practices and training camp and preseason games and things like that, they're looking back saying to themselves, eventually, if you want Earl Thomas, you're going to have to pay the piper. If not, then you have to wait till next year, and we still get a 3rd round draft pick because compensatory if Earl Thomas show up and show out during that time frame, because he may be, even though if he don't show up at all and played it well, then he can go to a 4th or 5th compensatory pick. Julius Williams, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Jerry said that for sure. Yeah. Who will be else? We have Rick. I may be wrong, but this team have 3 OTs. Offensive tackle who's our veterans and drafted. Couldn't read the rest of it, but yeah, you may be right, may be wrong. Read the SB article. Jerry said he had no interest in talking with the Seattle Seahawks. This is Scorpio 76688. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read that article, but I think that the thing is, we know that Roger Goodell is always looking to see whether or not any tampering is going on, and Jerry Jones is playing the wise man game, if not speaking on those things. So he's playing it smart. He is playing his thing smart. So he cannot talk about another player that's already under contract with another team, and he cannot say I'm interested in any player on another team that's already signed it with someone else. So he have to play his cards real tight to his vest. He cannot show or elude in any way that he's been tampering, and we do know that if Jerry Jones sneezes and happen to say Earl Thomas, he can get fined, or he can get a draft pick taken from him. So he playing it smart, guys, and Stephen Jones and Will McClay, they all playing it smart. So eventually, if I'm a betting man, I will say put your cards on Earl Thomas going to the Cowboys eventually, but Seattle Seahawks playing hardball right now. And, it is what it is. Sander Man 213, man, when he said Billy D hard and holding it down, no plea bargains. Yeah, hashtag. What's up, man? I appreciate you all for tuning in to the nation. I really thank you guys for tuning in to the network. It's always a pleasure for you guys to allow me to speak. And you guys are remarkable. Even the trolls, the haters, I really thank you guys for tuning in too as well. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to join Cowboy Joe Boo for Cowboys content. He will, I think, still try to post daily there. Chris Shaw said LVE is still hurt. I forgot about LVE. Oh, man. I don't want to say anything negative about LVE at this point. All I can say is we can just hope for, when there's hope in the future, there's power in the presence, right? So that's all I can say on LVE. It's a great hope. And hopefully he can get out there. Shout out to you, Bobby J, for showing the love for Jobu. That's all the time I have for today. I really thank you all for yours. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, join the notification squad too as well, and follow the Law Nations 2.0 page. Follow the Patreon Laws Nation. That's where the games will be located at too as well. And also Twitch. I'm on Twitch. I'm live on Instagram too as well. Live like 95. You guys know how that thing go. One way or another, we're going to get this thing going positive. Go Cowboys every day, even twice on Sunday. That's all the time we really have for the now. And remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Bass. Let's jam on out to some good old music. We got to have this music going, right? Let's go jam on out. Let's jam on out. Jam with me, baby. Yeah. Appreciate you guys, man. It's not an easy job, but somebody got to do it one way or another, right? It's passion. It's love, fire, and desire. Yeah. All right. Come on, baby. Let's roll, babies. It's Sunday. The next game is Sunday live at 8 o'clock. We're going to be there. But right now, it's Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. All right. I like that beat when they break it down. Yeah. All right. Hit that like button. Share this content. Share. Appreciate you. Mike, what's up, man? Them tight ends gonna have to do something, man. Yeah. Peace. Jobu, free Jobu, baby.